Okay, so I never thought I would be doing a video like this. Normally I don't wish to do videos that talk about drama and shit, but I do feel like I need to finally speak up about this and get this off my chest and, come out about my experience with a fucking pain in the ass that has left huge impact on my mental health since 2015 up until 2023. And I feel like now is the perfect time I talk about this individual on my channel so that more people know and understand he is not the fucking victim here at all. So, and yes, you're gonna have to put up with apologies for the tongue twisters. You're gonna have to put up with a black screen because I'm not comfortable showing my fucking face for obvious reasons. So, without further ado, let's talk about this individual. And yes, and I do have a script here of a subreddit I made about my experience. So, and if I do stutter a lot, or if I stutter a lot or have tongue twisters when reading it, forgive me for that. I can't really help with that. So let's talk about Joe Leban. Joe Leban is a person in his 20s that I've met through Google Plus back in 2015, and before I begin to that, I'm going to go into details of the many names he's went by. So here are the following names Joe went by from 2015 up to this year, or 2024, last year. So Joe Leban, his real name, he went by the following names: Joe Leban, his real name, Joe Volt Leban, Volt, Volty, Mr. Red Fox, Volty the Shadow Doggo, Mr. Fluffy White, Mr. Metal Doggo, Mr. Metal Dog, Sir Ace, Mr. Fluffball, Mr. V, Zera's King, Lugoshi, Volt the Dog, Cody Canine, Jose Canid, the Shadow Dog, the Shadow Wolf, and finally, Mr. Metal Canine and Archangel Doggo. Currently, he now goes by the name on Facebook called Heartbroken Doggo. So he's now under the name Heartbroken Doggo on Facebook too. So I'm going to talk about now my experience, my full story of my experience and drama with Joe Leban. 2015 to 2016. I started getting a YouTube account / channel and Google Plus account with my real name I'm not giving out for privacy reasons in 2015 after I graduated middle school. And basically my main thing was getting into many fandoms and franchises: Creepypasta fandom, FNAF / Five Nights at Freddy's fandom, Lion King, etc., etc., list goes on. And when I was watching a lot of Lion King music videos, after I watched this one called Zero and Kovu Bring Me to Life, this was my first encounter with Joe Leban in the comments. Now at the time, I was 14 years old, and I'll admit, what I commented to him out of random about shipping a Scar and Zera, yes, was pretty odd of me to do. And he doesn't ship Zera with Scar, as I remember all too well. Now, I don't got a problem with who Zera is shipped with. Either it's Scar or a different Lion King character or OC. Remember though, she or any other fictional character aren't real, so keep that in mind. If you want to ship Zera with Scar or any other Lion King character, that's fine, but remember there's limits on that. So after the random encounter, I did apologize to him for the random comment about it, to which he accepted and apologized to me for being aggravated, as whenever he sees Zera shipped with Scar, he gets, quote, jealous, unquote, because remember, he claims Zera is, quote unquote, real and his, quote unquote, wife. Our second encounter was on another Lion King music video I watched. Sadly, I can't remember the name, but I ended up talking to him again via comment section of the video and remembered me from the last video and told me not to laugh at him. He also told me this during our first encounter because I put lol, which to be honest seemed unintentional to me because, again, past me, 14 years old, and didn't know what I was doing, but did apologize to him for it. We then became friends on Google Plus, and I even left positive comments on his posts because he'd post Zera pics and he thanked me for the comments. This, however, would cut short as I would talk about Scar and Zera again being mates, to which would piss him off, and this was when I met two people who went by creepypasta fictional character accounts on Google+. Two of them Joe would make turn against me. Their names were the Puppeteer and Zero. Yes, people actually going by those names, pretending to be those creepypasta characters. Now, if those go by those names as roleplay accounts, I won't judge. But just know, just because you see a username pretending to be an actual fictional character from any fandom or franchise, they're not real. It's obviously people, most likely going by those names for role-playing. Now, I'm not into roleplay, I'll be clear here. But I won't judge those who are into roleplay. And then that's when the Zero person told Joe to block me, into which he did. Now, back then, I didn't take lightly to people blocking me, but nowadays it doesn't bother me anymore, as I just accept it and move on. However, though, Joe would unblock me again when I met Maddie, who went by the name Zero the Lioness on Google+, and Joe thought she was the real Zero, but she wasn't. Joe would unblock me and cuss me out for talking to her, which I don't remember ever being harmful to her at all, other than supporting her. Maddie also has a boyfriend named Ame Honshu Wolf Wildclaw, who I was also pretty good friends with on Google+. This was where, too, I met others such as Aaron Kodiak, Sean Jones, Jonathan Davis, aka Leo Lion, Lego Slash, Caddy CB, Scratty Rose, Black Kumba, aka Zig Hyena, Tiger Rule, Spirit the Alpha, people who went by fictional character names such as Tai Lung DW and Master Tigress, and so on. And they would start to see the toxic immaturity in Joe and eventually block him and apologize to me, which I accepted, but keep in mind I wasn't really the best person back then myself, and I didn't take things lightly. Plus, this was when I began high school, which high school was hell for me, and it left a huge impact on my mental health. So, of course, that didn't help either. Sorry, I just gotta refresh so my stupid laptop doesn't fucking decide to freeze up on me. Anyways. Also, Ame and Maddie did cut contact with Joe because Joe realized that Maddie wasn't the real Zero and would go out of his way to harass and be rude to her, even go as far to wish death on her. And her boyfriend Ame immediately contacted his mom Stacy about it. And by the way, major shout out to Stacy. Do not go out of your way to harass her because she's completely innocent. You know, I feel bad for her and I don't blame her for getting sick of Joe's bullshit. Now, Joe also would constantly unblock me and reblock me afterwards. He'd do this a lot to harass me and for whatever reason leave +1s on my Google Plus posts. Not only that though, but get offended over me posting Zero being shipped with either Scar or other characters. He'd constantly stalk me on Google Plus because of this and would harass me, send me threats and / death threats and wish death on me. I do remember even one time trying to be nice to Joe, but that also didn't work because he'd keep blocking me if I said something that would offend him. I have met other people too, such as Big Blue Husky, who I'm still friends with to this day, and Zantuber, whose real name I'm not giving out to respect his privacy. Joe had drama with Zantuber, and while Joe did send Zantuber after me, Zantuber actually apologized to me after Joe threw him under the bus, and the two of them had back and forth drama here and there. Joe would unblock him and reblock him over and over, and would keep harassing him. Now, even though Zantuber and I barely talk anymore, I forgive him regardless. At the time, he was 16, so yeah. Another individual I met named Lighten Lloyd. But to be honest, this dude was a bit of a strange person. And this was where Joe threatened the FBI on me, and Lloyd reached out to me on his Gouda Cheese account to get my side of the story. But again, as a teen, I didn't understand much of this, and I didn't answer his questions all too well, due to high school stressing me out, and all of that. At the same time, so I couldn't think straight, as so much was going on. Me and Light and Lloyd, by the way, aren't really friends, and our connection pretty much ended mysteriously, but I do remember him too having back and forth drama with Joe after Joe got offended over him telling Joe to shut the fuck up and Joe would also unblock and reblock Light and Lloyd non-stop just to harass him. Joe has went by alt accounts too, such as Scar King Lion, Volt the Dog, Alf the Alien Life Form, and other accounts to harass and stalk me on Google+. And he even pulled a stupid move admitting that Scar was him on another account, which led me to tell everyone to block his alt. And yes, I got him upset, even though he did it to himself, by openly admitting it to me. He has even went by account names like Rocket Raccoon and etc. because he thinks they are real and they are his real friends, yet again to show how delusional he is. Now, this was where the cyberstalker harassment towards me begins. I'm not naming names for obvious reasons because I want to move on from them, and while I hold no grudges, I hope they are doing better, as I understand we both were young and didn't know what we were doing at the time. Joe sent more people out to attack me, as they'd sit there and say I'm quote-unquote bullying Joe and all, to which I'll admit yes, because I was 14 and was turning 15, so I didn't handle this well. So yeah, I take accountability for. One of them would even make a video on me for bullying Joe, which would eventually get removed. And of course, if I recall, Joe threw these people under the bus too, because they'd say something he doesn't like. This was when I then met a YouTuber who used to take requests for Animash videos, but not anymore. She goes by Kelsey Taylor. She and I are still friends. Whenever I'd request, for an example, a Zira music video, Joe would find this a problem and be all controlling, telling Kelsey that I'm not allowed to request stuff on her channel. This is another one of Joe's toxicity, and he apparently encouraged another user named PartyAnimal16 to tell me the same thing. But Party Animal eventually apologized to me and I forgave them. Now yes, Kelsey told me I could no longer request videos, and to be honest, it was something I don't condone Joe telling someone I can't put out suggestions for videos, because Joe wants all the attention and spotlight basically. And while I'm not someone to ask for any of that, as I only request videos for video ideas only just to be nice. Eventually though, Kelsey let me request her videos again because she knew how stupid it was and rather toxic of Joe to be that controlling. 2017 to 2018 and to 2019. Drama between me and Joe would still continue, but I did meet some good people in the Animash community and furry fandom who were at least neutral with my drama with Joe. Those people being Rigel Destiny, major shout out to you, Janja Fan 2001, aka Hyena Girl 2001, Rocket 2017, aka 2017, aka Marlo, Rono 2017, Prince Kion, Thunderwolf, aka Fiery Husky, and of course Lizzie, etc., etc. Major shout out to them, by the way. I'm still pretty good friends with many of them. They would eventually though cut ties with Joe, and you guessed it, because Joe would block them over and over for no reason. Joe would also sit there and make hate communities about them on his Google Plus for no reason. I'm still to this day friends with these people, even though we don't talk much, but I still support them regardless. 2018, I dropped out of high school due to the massive impact it's left on my mental health, both mentally and emotionally, and I'm grateful of my mom to pull me out, as it's helped me recover and slowly do better, to say the least. However, though, the same year my main YouTube channel with my real name got zucked. Reasons because I'd upload videos ranting and starting drama with people, to which I learned my lesson on to never do those types of videos again, and to start off fresh. Nowadays I stay out of drama that doesn't concern me, and post wholesome videos such as of my cats and such, plus funny skits. And yes, this is the channel, the SimTalks channel I'm talking about, but thankfully I got it back. I won't post much drama on this channel though, because I don't like doing drama. But this is the only video I'm doing on this piece of shit Joe Leban. So that was just so those know. Because this channel is not about drama anymore. I want it to mostly be about fun shit and positivity. Fast forward to 2019 now. I did create a backup channel with my real name, but again, it didn't succeed well, as I still wasn't the best person, and as I would make a big deal over trolls making videos about me. Nowadays, though, it no longer matters, as I have no internet reputation, as I'm just on the internet for fun. Well, trying my best to in that matter, because I had to cut ties with toxic people I want no association with for my sake. 2019 is where I met Ryuki. Very good guy, and also the day I met Lizzie's, well, we'll skip that part. But yeah, major shout out to Ryuki. Let me just... This year though, I ended up deleting my backup account due to drama, ranting on trolls, and of course making mistakes. I may not remember much, But all I can say is on that year, I still wasn't the best person, and people have turned against me because of this, but I was able to own up, apologize, and take accountability and get some back. And yeah, again, major shout out to Ryuki and Lizzie. I'm still good friends with those two. Before all this though, Joe would treat Ryuki just like how he treated others. He'd throw Ryuki and his friends, whose names I won't mention, under the bus by blocking them for no reason. All cause yes, Ryuki and his friends called him a name he didn't like. Also cause one of Ryuki's friends called Joe transgender. Now Joe is not trans, cause he apparently ended up lying about this, which is scummy, cause that isn't something to lie about either. Joe would get offended over this ally of Ryuki calling him transgender, and for calling Joe by an old name, which is MFW, which is Mr. Fluffy White for short. And this was an old name Joe went by, and he no longer likes being called that name. This happened when they defended Joe from an individual who I won't name for obvious reasons, and in return Joe would insult them and calling them a piece of shit, and all because one of them said transgender for calling him MFW, and then blocked them. They call him out though afterwards for manipulating them because they were no longer having Joe's bullshit, and to be honest, I genuinely can't blame them. 2020, 2021, and 2022 were hell years for me a bit, and to be honest, I regret giving Joe multiple chances on those years because of him not changing and would bring up his family drama. 2023, I was in working progress of being a better person with the help of Herman, who I met back in November 2020. Nice dude. Helped solve most of my dramas, taught me how to rightfully apologize without using autism as an excuse, because yes, I did that back then, but eventually learned how wrong it was of me to do. He knew I had a lot going on, especially when high school stressed me out, and that I can change and do better. Even said, if some don't forgive you, just accept it and move on, and I went with his word. So I went on an apology tour, to quote the one Haluva Boss episode, and apologized to many people I wrongfully hurt in the past. Some forgave me, some haven't. That's okay though. Some decided to be friends again, even though I don't ask for friendship back now because that's their choice. I did accept the offer though, and it was so far me getting my life back together. This was where I gave Joe another chance to see if he'd change, but sadly he hasn't. And now to where he decided to bring up his family drama to me again. Now you may be asking, simpler, why couldn't you just tell him to stop? As much as I would, I know him all too well, and I know he'll just get offended if I say that. So I decided to pretend to be his friend to get info about this from his side to his mom's side. When I reached out to his mom, she told me the truth, and that Joe was lying to me. Afterwards, I told her to take away Joe's phone, and not too long after, Joe would be on my ass for getting him in trouble by his mom, because I didn't condone him doxing his mom's phone number. Then on October, he'd be done with me and block me on 2024. 2024, I tried again one last time, pretending to be Zira to bait him, same as always. Afterwards, he blocked my Zira account on August 2024, and now here we are where me and a friend group expose this info about him. Also, if anyone is asking me to prove all of this happening, I sadly have no screenshots of all that happened back in 2015, 2016, 2017, 2018, and 2019. Plus, this all happened when Google Plus still existed, and at the time, I didn't know how to take screenshots back in 2015, 2016, 2017, and 2018. So you'll have to believe all of this, proof or not, with a pinch of salt. In conclusion, Joe Leban will never change, unless he gets the help he needs, and that they never release him until they see signs of him changing. After all of this, I no longer want any association with him. He's toxic, rude, delusional, psychotic, and immature, and might I add, narcissistic, inconsiderate, ignorant, and selfish. This goes to other people too I want no association with, because they won't change for the better, and I want to move on from those people. As for those that cyberstalked and harassed me, I hold no grudges, and I can hope you are doing better going forward. I wish to move on with my life and no longer be in toxic drama situations or associate myself with toxic, negative, immature, sus, manipulative, disrespectful, and narcissistic people. It'll stay that way too. I've met better people who are respectful, chill, mature, and have morals and common sense. And unlike Joe Leban, I've at least stopped with my toxic actions as I reached childhood and took accountability and responsibility for my actions. I am still in work in progress of being a better person. It'll take time, yes, as I have struggles here and there. I'm not perfect, but I'm doing my best in life. And that is my experience with Joe Leban. He is a fucking lost cause. And if you're watching this, Joe, I'm not sorry for making this video. I'm not sorry. I am not sorry, dude. You brought this on yourself, and seeing how you are, you're a lost cause. Like, the amount of people that have had to deal with your shit, I feel bad for them. And I sincerely hope karma comes to you. Because the more you keep acting like this, being overly sensitive, and doing the same bullshit, claiming you're a dog, obviously people are not going to believe that because they know it's fucking fake. They know that this whole thing about you being a dog is fucking fake. Even I know it's fake, because no way in hell, like, are you someone who thinks he's an IRL dog. Not only that, but you claim that fictional characters like Luna from Haluva Boss and Zira from Lion King 2 Simba's Pride, etc. are real. Newsflash, fictional characters do not exist in the real world. They only exist in media. They do not exist in reality. Like, that's literal Space Jam delusion right there. Like, I don't know if you watched too much Space Jam to think, oh my god, fictional characters exist in the real world. No, they do not. Space Jam is just a movie. And I'm not gonna lie, Joe, and I know you won't have any remorse for this, but words can't describe how much you've left a huge impact on my mental health throughout the years, from 2015 up to 2023. And not once have you shown any fucking improvement. You've shown zero improvement. Unlike you, I've actually been on road to improvement and on doing better. But you, on the other hand, you haven't shown shit. And if you keep going down this self-destructive path where you're being sensitive and getting yourself into these situations because someone called you the wrong name or whatever the fuck, I hope karma comes to you. Because guess what? You did it to yourself. You've done it to your fucking self. And I won't feel bad if you end up in prison. Because you decided to fuck with the wrong person. Because again, you did it to yourself. You're a lost cause. And I want nothing to fucking do with you, Joe Leban. I want nothing to do with you. You're a piece of shit. You always pull this fucking, you're always pulling this bullshit, where you message me every day saying, oh, I got a problem, because clearly you're doing it to yourself. Like, I felt bad at first, but now seeing clearly, after I got your mom's side of the story, I no longer have fucking sympathy for you. You're never gonna change. And I don't blame your mom for sending you to a fucking group home. And I feel bad for everyone else that had to put up with your bullshit, and you wonder why you lose fucking friends. You're disgusting, you're rude, you're selfish, narcissistic, immature, delusional. You're all of that. You're all of that. And I don't want anything to do with you going forward, Joe. I want nothing to do with you. Ever since I've cut ties with you, I'm at peace. Because I don't want anything to do with a piece of shit like you that's left a huge impact on my mental health. You were a literal fucking parasite that wouldn't go the fuck away. It would not fucking leave me alone. You're a fucking parasite. Not to mention you're a goddamn burden to everyone around you. You're not the victim, Joe. The victims are the people that you've ever fucking encountered that have either tried to calm you down or support you. But the moment they make one mistake with you, you act like it's a big fucking deal and you cut ties with them. You being sensitive like this is why you lose friends. Is why no one wants to be around you. Because it's the way you fucking act. It's the way you choose to act and choose to put yourself out there online. It's your fault, dude. You did this to yourself. And I sincerely hope karma comes to you. I no longer want any interaction with you going forward. And if anything, get off the internet. Get off the internet and seek help for your actions. Like, literally seek fucking help. You're a fucking lost cause. You're a fucking disgrace. And the fact I've had to put up with you for fucking years on end, not anymore. I'm done giving you chances, knowing full on you're not going to change. And I sincerely hope, like I said, I hope karma comes to you, because the more you keep going down the self-destructive path, the more it's going to impact your life more and more. The more it's going to put your life at risk. But I'm telling you right now, ever since I've cut ties with you for good, I'm at peace. And to the people that actually went ahead to start a hate campaign against me for the sake of defending this fucker, I hope you realize now he's not the fucking victim. Because the victims are the people, myself included, are the ones you've ever encountered that have to put up with this bullshit. So, I suggest rethinking on this shit. He's not the fucking victim. And to anyone that is still friends with Joe Leban, I suggest you block him immediately. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, wherever the fuck else he has platforms on social media. If you're friends with Joe Leban, please block him now. He is not a good person. He's a piece of shit, and everything I've said about him explains everything. And that subreddit about him is staying up, because I want more people to see what kind of person he is, and I want those to, feel free to come out publicly, YouTube, with your experience with him. I also want to give a major shout out to Paw Xbox PC and Party Planner Preston, as those two have also had to deal with this shit. I will be sure to tag their channel names in the description. And Paw Xbox actually has a video on Joe Leban, so please be sure to go check that out if you haven't yet. Be sure to go check that out, as I want to give a major shout out to those two. And I'll be sure to post the video in the description too. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this. I will not do videos like this too often. I just thought I'd get this off my chest and expose Joe Leban and tell my full experience with him. Again, I apologize for the tongue twisters and the stutters. Forgive me for that. I can't really help that, but I did my best, okay? I'm not perfect. But yeah, so that's this is all I gotta say here. I think I've covered enough. And if you want to look at the subreddit, I'll be sure to put that down in the description too, where I exposed Joe Leban, where me and several other people have exposed Joe Leban. And I want to thank the people that, I want to thank Zara Bolton, KB the Hunter, for doing digging and, gathering more info about him. And I also want to thank Megalopony for making the subreddit, because we both worked on fucking exposing him publicly. And yes, again, major shout out to Paw Xbox. I'll be sure you guys check out his video on Joe. Anyways, I hope you all have a great day or night wherever you're at. Stay safe out there. I'll see you guys whenever I feel like uploading again. Bye.